Every child deserves the opportunity to grow into an informed, responsible, and compassionate citizen. Yet civic education is rarely taught as a practical life skill in Pakistan's primary schools. To help address this gap, the Center for Peace and Secular Studies, with the generous support of the National Endowment for Democracy, organized a week-long residential teacher training on civic education from the 17th to the 24th of July, 2026 in Lahore. 25 primary school teachers traveled from different districts of Punjab. They represented public schools, private schools, and religious schools. More importantly, they reflected Pakistan's rich religious diversity, with participants from Muslim, Hindu, Christian, and Sikh communities learning and living together under one roof for 8 days. The training was designed not simply to increase knowledge, but to transform attitudes, strengthen democratic values, and equip teachers with practical classroom tools that they can carry back to thousands of young learners. The journey began with introductions and community building. Teachers shared their personal stories, their hopes for education, and the challenges they face in their classrooms every day. The first session, Sailing Towards Serenity, encouraged participants to reflect on their own identities while exploring the importance of diversity, empathy, and inclusion. Through dialogue and community circles, barriers quickly began to disappear, creating an atmosphere of trust, respect, and friendship. One of the most memorable experiences of the training was the diversity tour. Participants visited a church, a gurdwara, a Hindu temple, a Baha'i center, and a mosque. For many teachers, this was their very first opportunity to enter places of worship belonging to other faiths. Religious leaders welcomed the participants and shared their beliefs, traditions, and values. Teachers asked questions, exchanged ideas, and discovered that despite differences in rituals, every faith emphasizes peace, compassion, justice, and respect for humanity. The day concluded with reflection sessions where participants discussed how these experiences challenged stereotypes and helped them appreciate Pakistan's religious diversity. The following day focused on peace and conflict resolution. Through activities such as switching identity and discussions on perceptions and realities, teachers explored the roots of prejudice and learned how misunderstandings often lead to conflict. Sessions on peacebuilding, social cohesion, and conflict resolution equipped teachers with practical skills to encourage dialogue, critical thinking, and cooperation among children. Participants also developed lesson plans using place-based learning, enabling them to connect civic education with the realities of their own communities. Participants explored the challenges faced by girls and women in education and society, discussed the importance of equal opportunities, and reflected upon the role teachers can play in creating classrooms where every child feels respected and valued. Guest speakers shared powerful experiences highlighting voices that are often unheard, inspiring teachers to become advocates for equality and dignity. The sessions concluded with discussions on social and emotional learning, emphasizing child inclusion and creating supportive school environments. Education is not only about academic achievement. Healthy children learn better. Dedicated sessions explored physical growth, mental health, socio-emotional development, and the 3 domains of learning. Experts encouraged teachers to recognize emotional well-being as an essential part of education and introduced practical approaches to supporting children's mental health. Participants also discussed how technology, artificial intelligence, and digital literacy will shape the future of education, preparing children for an increasingly connected world. Creating responsible citizens also means protecting our planet. Teachers learned about building safe, healthy, green, and sustainable schools. Sessions explored school safety, public health, climate change, environmental protection, and community leadership. Participants developed practical ideas for environmental projects that students can implement in their own schools, encouraging children to become active stewards of their communities and the environment. Understanding democracy begins with understanding citizenship. The final academic module introduced teachers to the Constitution of Pakistan, democratic institutions, governance, elections, and policy making. Through an interactive role-play simulating parliamentary proceedings, participants experienced democratic decision-making firsthand. These practical exercises demonstrated that civic education is not simply about memorizing facts. It is about participation, dialogue, responsibility, and respect for democratic processes. The training concluded with sessions on human rights and global citizenship. Participants reflected on the knowledge they had gained, the friendships they had formed, and the responsibilities they now carry back to their schools. Certificates were awarded in recognition of their dedication and commitment to promoting civic education. But this was not the end of the journey. It was the beginning. 25 teachers will now return to their classrooms, reaching thousands of children across Punjab with lessons that promote peace, inclusion, democracy, environmental responsibility, and respect for human rights. Every lesson they teach will contribute to building more tolerant schools, stronger communities, and a more democratic Pakistan. The Center for Peace and Secular Studies remains committed to strengthening civic education and empowering educators to become agents of positive change. Together, we are nurturing a new generation of informed, compassionate, and responsible citizens. Thank you.